Gillyweed, and welcome back to the Gosu Cup Enter the Storm qualifiers. This is qualifiers number 10. I am Gillyweed, and Shamtu will be casting with me. Hello, Shamtu. Is the helicopter gone?
The helicopter has left. It's Fleet Week here in New York City, so they've got like Ospreys and all these big helicopters like flying over all the time. It's ridiculously loud. So anyway, we've got the draft link already set up. Let's take a quick look at that draft. As we're starting to see that the map picks and bans are already going down here. We've got Blackheart's Bay or Tomb of the Spider Queen is going to be one of the next maps here between either of these teams. Two interesting maps to choose between, because I don't think either team is probably going to prefer either of those.
No, I think you're right about that. But it looks like we will be once again on Blackheart's Bay. Really interesting to have two Blackheart's Bay map picks in a row.
Yeah, right? Okay, if they want to go to Blackheart's Bay. Maybe they're really just big fans of coin flip matchups.
Oh, it could be that. They also might just really like the VO. I mean, how can you argue with that pirate?
Yeah. Did you know that's actually the pirate from SpongeBob?
Yes! Isn't that crazy?
I found that out. It's one of the best things I've ever heard of, ever. Anyway, we've got the draft started up here. SK going to be first pick because they are the higher seed. They had a bye in the first round. So now it's going to be SK versus Cast Aside. Excited to see this game. It's going to be a pretty crazy, energetic game between both these teams. SK, a really well-known team in the ESL Major Leagues, etc. Cast Aside, I believe, is also pretty well known. I don't remember if they're in the ESL Major League or not. I always blank on how many teams are in the ESL Major League. But they're both really good teams. I'm really excited to see, especially just how we saw how we saw Cast Aside play that first game. I'm excited to see how they're going to play against SK.
Yeah, they were pretty decisive in the last game, but I think SK is a completely different bear to have to deal with. SK are going to go ahead and have the first pick, first ban, and are going to ban the Lost Vikings here. What do you think about that ban?
Well, on a map like Blackheart's Bay, that's a really good pickup, because the Lost Vikings, they're good at mercenary camps, especially the ones on this map. They're really good at splitting up, so anytime that there is a situation where people are afraid of turn-ins or etc., the Lost Vikings can sit in all the other lanes and just sit there and make sure that they're still getting all of their experience, etc. So you can fight over objectives, you can get all the PvE going on, etc., and still have a ridiculous amount of soak. So we're pretty good on that Lost Vikings ban. Illidan ban coming out here from Cast Aside, though.
Yeah, and Cast Aside had Illidan last game, but choosing instead to ban him this time, they want to make sure that if they're not going to have him, they for sure don't give him to SK, but SK are going to first pick a new Barak.
Yeah, that is a brazen pick there. Again, yeah. Again though, you have to look at how the Beetle AI has been changed and how Beetle build is just working out. Even before this last patch, Barak was starting to become favored in the European Union just because of his ability to be able to mercenary camp and his blood for blood at level 16. It's one of those big things that we always have to remember, is that blood for blood is just one of those strong things. If you can concatenate like 3 to 4 blood for bloods, you can immediately eliminate somebody on the enemy side.
Yeah, that is definitely true. Even taking out the tankiest of heroes that they might have too, which is something that is very scary to have to deal with once you see that they've picked up those level 16 talents. Cast Aside is going to first pick up Sylvanas, so they're going to pick what they beat last time, but in addition, they have Jaina. These two together deal so much damage to structures because Jaina can apply her Frostbite, her Chill to structures, and then of course we've seen Sylvanas' pushing power so many times before with the Black Arrow hero trait.
Yeah, and not only that, but having the two of them together, that's a really big powerhouse of a back line. They can now go for something like what they went against, which is the double warrior composition, and possibly be sitting in a pretty good spot because they can just have that wall of double warriors sitting in front of them, blocking the movement of SK from getting into the backline, whereas they are just going to be able to melt anything that's in front of them. So it's going to be a really interesting question of how they're going to play the rest of their composition. SK, however, taking a little bit of time, we could be potentially seeing a Tyrael come in because he did not get banned. He's got a blood for blood, and he's a really good off-tank.
Man, I love Tyrael and Barak together. I think it is such a cool composition to see in terms of double tanks. So I'm really hoping for that. But they are going to pick up Kael'thas. So our newest hero does a ton of damage. Doesn't have a lot of escape, though, and that's going to be one thing that he will have to watch out for, depending on what Casticide chooses to pick up from there. But he can deal so much damage. I think, well, and there is the Tyrael as well. Ah, yes!
It's going to be a really, really strong team, and this is exactly what you want. When you get a Kael'thas, when you get one of those big casters, you want to run that double warrior. Now, it's up to Casticide to decide how they want to approach this situation, because they need to get that Kael'thas eliminated. They might even pick up a Zeratul later on, just so they can Void Prison the back line, deal with the front line, then we'll let go of that Void Prison and go through. But that's a big, tall order to put up. You have 5 seconds to eliminate a Tyrael and an Anubarak. Good luck. So it's a really difficult decision to see what they want to go for. They do go for the Zeratul, though. So it's going to be a rough decision for them to decide what they want to do. And also, just quick note, if you guys were watching yesterday, we did not go through all the semifinals and the finals. They were played again this morning because there was a huge bug. IMG did get qualified, as well as all the other teams that just got announced in the Twitch chat.
Well, in addition to picking up Uther, Casticide, or to Zeratul, Casticide has picked up Uther here. What do you think of Uther as the main support for needing to keep alive Jaina, Sylvanas, and Zeratul?
Well, so this is going to be a great point for Casticide. They have to get somebody who's going to survive in the team fight for a little bit. Tyrael and Anubarak can immediately go in on one person. And now Anubarak has exactly who he wants to web wrap. But here's the question, is whether or not he gets that web wrap by the time the Divine Shield saves somebody on Casticide. Look at all of the cooldowns on SK's side. It's a lot of long cooldowns. If they can make those cooldowns go to something that was Divine Shielded, they're going to be sitting in a really good spot to be able to take the fight. But that's going to be the big question, whether or not the Divine Shield goes down on the right target and at the right time.
Yeah, that's always the issue with Uther, and SK have finished up their composition. They're going to grab Brightwing for their support. We've talked about Brightwing before in the last game, and Brightwing also is just such a great laner. We saw the power of her with her promote, Bribe as well on Blackheart's Bay. She was able to take on a Sylvanas 1v1 in lane, and it might be possible that we see that again as Casticide have picked up the Sylvanas.
What's also really interesting is that with Brightwing, with Tyrael, you're going to have a lot of just passive healing going throughout the entire team. Remember, Tyrael actually gets to heal everybody who picks up his shield, as well as Anubarak with the Beetle build going to be able to sustain himself for quite a long time. This is going to be a really difficult team to kill. Like, just looking at it, you got the Brightwing with her passive, you got Tyrael with his shield, and you've got Anubarak with his passive Beetles. The only people who don't really have that are Vala and Kael'thas. And that's okay, because the other 3 people are going to be almost self-sustaining by themselves. So it's going to be a really, really big team of sustaining, just tanky damage bruiser type. It's going to be really scary for Casticide to deal with. They do pick up the Muradin, though, and that's going to give them a little bit of CC to deal with all of the potential massive amount of engagements and crowd control coming in from SK.
Yeah, he's got great stuns too. And remember that Casticide do have that Zeratul. Zeratul's really, really good at being able to run around and pick up all those little pirate camps. So they do have somebody who's got a lot of map mobility. With Muradin, Uther, and Zeratul, it's possible they might even be able to run a little bit of a gank squad and be able to pick up some early kills that would help put them in the lead early on that they'd be able to catapult on later. Because remember, they did that last game, and they've shown that they are really good at capitalizing on something like that.
That's true. That's very true. And as long as they can get that PvE element in and they can really start winning the first side of the map, they can actually start taking this game pretty confidently. Remember, this is a best of 1. So they have to beat SK here in 1 game in order to actually proceed. SK, pretty big opponents to take on, especially with the composition that they're fronting. But Casticide showed very, very good gameplay last game, and I don't think that they're going to be able to just go out silently in this night.
I would agree. It'll come down to the PvE, like you said, as this is Blackheart's Bay, and there is a Sylvanas to help take down some turrets and save some of the cannons from Blackheart's barrage. But we should be loading into this game pretty quickly. I think they're just maybe readying up.
Kiefer is apparently thrown out in the lobby. USA represent. So not only do we have USA casters casting a European game, but we also have a American in the game itself. So Props up to you, Keefers. Now let's watch SK Gaming going against Casticide. This is going to be a pretty awesome game. I'm really excited to see this. Blackheart's Bay is going to be the map, which is an interesting map to see this game come through on. And it's really interesting that we've got 2 Blackheart's games in 2 games.
Right?
And you can pick from any of the maps that exist.
Including, like, Cursed Hollow is a favorite. Dragonshire. No, Blackheart's Bay.
A billion different other maps. Not really a billion, actually only 7. Close enough. 7 or billion is closer to 1, and it's all better than Blackheart's Bay, in my opinion. But let's get on to Blackheart's Bay. Let's listen to some pirates. Let's get right on into this. Oh my god, I actually did not fix the team name. So Gillyweed, why don't you introduce our friends in blue?
All right, well, Casticide is in blue, with Nomi once again playing Muradin, Glucosa on Uther, Freezer playing Jaina, Coco Brown on Zeratul, and in the bottom is going to be Grolem on Sylvanas.
And over here, oh, Ollie's UI, so nice. Over here on the right-hand side, it is SK Gaming Bakery, going to be playing Vala. We've got Keepers on the Tyrael, Snitch on, oh wow, that Kel'Thas looks awesome. I almost called him Kel'Thuzad. Wrong WoW lore. Right wing going to be played by Rave, and I missed the Anubarak kind of fluttering on in now, and that's Zarmony. So really excited how both these teams are going to be playing this game, because this is going to be a pretty awesome match already. So we've got pretty much 4 stack versus 4 stack in the mid, and I don't think anybody's going to be able to do too much. Interestingly enough, Kel'Thas went for Fell Infusion at level 1.
Yeah, so really wanting to work on that sustain just a little bit, knowing that they're going to need to stay alive versus the very strong damage dealers of Casticide. And we should have the chest here in about 5 seconds. Bakery and Zarmony already taking a ton of damage though, and this is going to be a problem as they start to go for that chest.
Yeah, and here comes the question. That 50-second mark has spawned here. We've got the chest at the top lane and in the bot lane. At the top lane so far, it's going to be a little bit of a brawl. Nomi now going on in here, trying to do a little bit of damage. It looks like all of Casticide's going to pick up the coins. Oh no, but Nomi's going to go down, and now Freezer taking a lot of the damage, but Casticide walks away with 4 of the coins from the chest so far. 2 coins only going over here to SK's at this moment.
And meanwhile, in the bottom chest, Sylvanas picking up 2 of the coins so far. Will go ahead and grab the rest of those, but needs to get away quickly because there's Keepers and Zarmony is right behind. Will be able to get away, and so they basically got most of the coins for Casticide.
Yeah, this is a pretty good set off for them already. This is the early game advantage that they needed to press, because this is exactly how they played last game too. Because if they start getting into a situation where those warriors are able to scale up, they start getting so much HP that they can't deal with it, that's going to be the difficult spot later on in this game for them. But right now, they're sitting in a nice spot. They are a little bit behind in experience.
Just a tad, and in the bottom, Keepers and Grolem are going up against one another in the lane. And we're seeing Sylvanas once again have a little bit of trouble with that, as Keepers, that Tyrael is has such a great lane presence, but Rave actually getting stunned by Muradin, now getting silenced as well, will go down, and that will be a quick kill on Brightwing. Zarmony's got to get out of there.
Yeah, they were actually a little bit pretty behind in experience, but that was able to kind of level them back up, but it is level 4 now for SK Gaming. They're sitting in a pretty good spot. SK Gaming picks up another kill on the Muradin, and now Glucosa has to get away here. Anubarak coming in here. Can he body block enough to take out Glucosa? Doesn't look like that's going to happen. Ooh, really, really nice.
Yeah, that was a great burrow from Anubarak, just not quite enough. Freezer taking a little bit of damage there from Living Bomb, is going to back away, but Snitch is also pretty low, and Zeratul is right around there, so he's knows that he needs to be safe. Up at top, though, a really good push happening from SK. They've already taken down 1 tower. Now they're working toward the next one, going to get back just a little bit. They know that Zeratul is right there, and they want to stay safe.
Yeah, they're playing as safe as possible right now because, you know, they're really not doing too well in terms of coins. They can't be too aggressive, though, because they need to make sure that they're going to be able to just kind of sustain throughout all of this and get to that late game. They want to make sure that they continue this huge experience lead. Risky plays right now could potentially turn that all back over into the favor. Red team hero killed. That was Tyrael in the bot lane. Oh my, I did miss that. But Rave TGN going to have to hold off Nomi and Grolem for the time being.
Yeah, they got a great stun from Muradin, and Sylvanas was right there to be able to capitalize on that. Looking at the talents, this Vala is going to go for the multi-shot build, so really preferring to be dealing a lot of AoE damage with really good lane clear as well. And actually, Kael'thas did go for the Gathering Power, so feeling pretty confident in his ability to stay alive and keep those stacks, but getting a little bit of extra ability power to deal more damage as well.
Well, especially with all the sustain, he needs to stay alive for a really long time, and losing his life at any point is going to be pretty detrimental to his Gathering Power stacks. But I think he feels like he's confident that he can stay alive. He's not going for the Envenom, he's not going for the quicker gravity lapse at level 4, so it's going to be a pretty nice little pickup for him to get that Gathering Power, especially later on once he gets Chain Bomb and can get a lot of kills in. Oh, but here comes a huge engagement. Nobody going to be going on pretty deep, but is it going to be an actual kill on Bakery? Taking a lot of damage, going to go down. There's the coin going on over to Cast Aside. Cast Aside sitting pretty nice right now.
Yeah, they've got 2 heroes who are low, though, and this means that SK feels pretty confident to stay in this for the time being. May even be able to pick up the coins here. There's one, meanwhile, on bottom. They're also grabbing the chest on bottom for now with Tyrael, although it does look like maybe they're going to have a rotation in there. And there comes Coco Brown. Kiefer's going to try to get away. Grillam on the chase, and maybe able to take him. Coco Brown coming back in, going to blink in. Great catch on him. Will be able to take him out.
Oh, yes, and the 1 coin is just outside the gate. If Coco Brown wants to, he can just walk up there and pick it up, but it looks like Sylvanas is going to have to push the lane pretty hard to get it. A little bit of an engagement here by Nomi and Zarmany and Rave at the middle, trying to get to the turn-in. Blackheart just sitting here watching everybody fight over him. He doesn't actually even move either. He doesn't watch anybody actually like fight. He just sits there, stands there, just waiting for somebody to just feed him coins.
He cares not for your trivial fighting. He only cares for coins. And it looks like both teams have quite a few. And it's going to be who can try to get the turn in first. Both teams, have they taken down any of the turrets in mid? It looks like yes. There is one down on the side of Cast Aside. So if SK can get that turn in, they'll definitely pick up a fort from it.
Interesting pickup already at level 7. We have Cleanse getting picked up here by the Uther, making sure that all that really ridiculous amount of CC coming out here from SK Gaming isn't going to be able to eliminate somebody really quickly, but this puts a lot of pressure on that Uther, so we're going to have to watch Glucosa's play. He's going to be the really big question of whether or not SK gets a lot of kills or none at all.
Yeah, and Jaina did pick up that Arcane Intellect, so going for more of the sustaining, being able to lane as much as possible versus something like another Envenom or even the Snowstorm for the greater radius of Blizzard.
Looks like we could potentially see Sylvanas. Yeah, she's sneaking on over there. She's got 10 coins, gonna hand them in. That's gonna be the first turn-in of the game, as well as Cast Aside hitting level 10. Divine Shield being grabbed here. We also have the Shadow Assault.
What?
Ooh. So, I kind of predicted Zeratul was going to be in this game, but I did not predict that. He's going to try and eliminate Kael'thas as hard as he possibly can. There's the Divine Shield with the Searing attacks. Shadow Assault eliminating the Brightwing so incredibly quickly. And now they're going to continue fighting over this top lane. Mid lane is getting cannon, but, oh, Freezer taking a lot of damage. Kiefer's trying to do something, but he gets body blocked. Taken out. Coco Brown blinks away, is going to survive. Wow, Cast Aside playing absolutely amazing today.
Man, Tyrael had a great judgment on Freezer on the Jaina, but a great cleanse from Uther. We saw that he picked it up and he was able to use that, keep her alive, and nobody went down on the side of Cast Aside.
Yeah, they did that engagement perfectly. That's exactly what I want to say. Glucosa, such a good Uther, puts all of his abilities down at the second they need it, especially with the Divine Shield on Coco Brown to allow him to do his Shadow Assault and take out as many of the people on the enemy team as possible. He is a really, really good Uther, and your team is only as good as its support. Rave TGN taking a lot of damage. Kael'thas also going to go down, and that's going to be a double kill. Quick pickups here by Cast Aside, being so aggressive.
They're even going to pick up the Bruisers here, and this is exactly what we saw from them in the last game. They get some sort of early advantage, and they just press it, taking out those Bruisers, making sure to get this fort. Any damage they put on that means they're saved some cannons for the bottom lane, as that fort will start. Nope, I guess they'll just lose the tower there. The fort is wide open, though.
They see that the Tyrael is in the bot lane, and that's going to be a really good time for them to say, hey, we've got all 5 people up here in the top lane, let's take this boss. And that is exactly what they're going to do. They picked up the top fort, they picked up the boss, and now they're going to get that keep damage going in. They've got the first turn-in against them from SK Gaming. Can SK start turning this around? Remember, they have a Kael'thas. If you have a Kael'thas, the game is not over until your core is dead. because one miraculous amount of chain bombs can just take out an enemy team and turn the whole entire team game on its head.
That is definitely true, but you generally don't see that until really coming into play until level 16. Oh, Nomi getting a great stun on Rave, trying to just get away, does get a good blink heal out, will just barely survive. Gotta be scary though, and now they're once again, we're seeing Casticide pushing with their boss so early into the keep area already.
They are doing this so incredibly well. They're doing exactly what they did last game, and they're just doing it to a perfect T. They are not letting up at all. Level 13 has been grabbed for them. Spell Shield going down on the Uther to survive those Kel'Thas bombs. We're seeing the increased Assassin's Blade cloak on the Zeratul, as well as improved Ice Block on the Jaina, just in case there's that massive engagement on them. Don't have to use the Divine Shield in order to keep Jaina alive. And then, of course, the Thunder Strike on Muradin, in case anybody gets a little bit too cheeky, a little bit too far forward, Muradin can really punish them. But 13 has been grabbed by Casticide as well. They've got a good set of talents. There's the Ice Block on the Brightwing as well, just to keep her alive in case there is that stun chain yet again. Imposing Will going to be really good, as well as Flamethrower. Interesting, no Chain Bomb on the Kel'Thas.
Yeah, when you've got a case of Kel'Thas needing to stay back as much as possible, then you generally will see them going for the increased range, just so you can sit in the back lane a little bit more safely without having to run out. It does mean that you won't deal quite as much damage with that Living Bomb, which is generally the other talent that we see. But I do really like the Ice Block from Jaina, because it does mean, like you said, that they might not have to use the Divine Shield on her. Even if she gets Judgmented, she can hurry up and throw that down, and that enables them to forces the other team to have to attack someone else for a little bit, just like Divine Shield would do.
And they just increased all of Ice Block's ability and really viability in the last patch. You can now cancel Ice Block. It's like the best thing that's ever happened to us. It was just like mages, like birthdays all around the world. It was such a nice upgrade, and that means that basically you only have to Ice Block for just as long as all of that bombardment's coming in on you. It's not going to actually lag you out of 6 seconds. I believe it's 6 seconds, for how long 3 seconds. 3 seconds in which you just don't do anything. You can just Ice Block for a second, and then un-Ice Block, and you're back into the fight.
SK has been watching this turn-in so much, and they do spot it. Brightwing is going to have to teleport in. She was up top. That's a great thing that you have with the Brightwing, is that she can lane until the very last second. But she actually isn't going to, because they missed the turn-in a little bit. And so this is going to be a turn-in for Casticide, who are going to press their advantage. Now they're going to be able to get their 16 talents, and their opponents are not really close to that at all.
Yeah, this is actually going to be a little bit rough for them to really deal with for SK Gaming. They don't have those 16 talents, and those are massive. We're seeing Berserk. Oh, man. 2 people out here for SK Gaming. Can Casticide actually make something happen here? Starbody taking a lot of damage. There's Rave TGN coming in at the last second, and there's the Shadow Assault on Keepers. Is he going to be able to go down? Yes, he is. Coco Brown doing so much damage, and he's going to be able to take out Rave TGN as well. That's a 3-for-0 victory. If they take out this keep here, they could potentially even end the game.
Yeah, they're heading straight for this mid keep, and that is definitely the case. You only need 1 keep down to be able to do that, but there's a really good Phoenix that's going to help zone. The Phoenix cooldown timer is insane, only 40 seconds, so that's really nice. Snitch trying to make something happen, maybe even pick up a kill on Nomi, who's very low on health and mana, but did have enough to dwarf toss away. They threw a bunch of damage on the keep, but they know their opponents don't have mules, so that's not a super huge concern. They're going to get out of here before they start taking a lot of living bomb damage from Snitch.
Snitch is doing pretty well and able to zone this off, and because you were saying before, Phoenix's cooldown is so low, it's almost back up again. It's ridiculous. I swear to God, it's literally going to be up in 7 seconds. And but they are going to be able to go in here on Freezer, and she did pop the Ice Block, but that was not enough. That is going to be the first victory here for SK Gaming. Can they get their 16 talents and actually start turning this game around? That's the question. They're going in on this bottom keep. There's not much, this bottom fort. There's not much else up here for them to take advantage of, but they do have a set of Siege Giants, and they could potentially pick up another set. 4 Siege Giants, they could potentially even take this keep.
Oh, that bribe from Brightwing, really handy. They didn't have to waste any time on it at all. And now they are going straight after these turrets, taking them down so quickly. This means that they're able to protect those 4 Siege Giants as they start going in towards the keep. And this is not what Casticide want. Now their enemies have caught back up to them in terms of experience, picking up 3 Blood for Bloods.
Yeah, so that's going to allow them to eliminate somebody pretty quickly. Brightwing, what is she going to pick up? That's that Critterize, as we expected. So now they've got
Sticky Powder.
Oh, it's Sticky Powder, really?
I know.
Oh, that catches me off guard. Okay, I can see that. Turn the game a little bit around on them with that CC, especially with all the Blood for Bloods and how much they slow somebody down. They're going to be really slowing down the enemy team.
And slowing down means that you're going to have a Kael'thas throwing a whole bunch of stuff on you. If he can hit that Flame Strike on top of you as well because you can't get away, that's going to be very scary. We do have chests. Both teams grabbing one of the chests now, but a turn-in very, very close will be secured by SK Gaming.
And that's going to be a really nice turn in. They're going to get that top fort, and that's going to actually start putting them at to be level 17. Now their opponents did just hit 18, and that's going to be the scary part. But they've got this little window here where they're not 20 yet. They've got 2 levels before 20. They themselves, SK Gaming, have 3 levels before 20, but if they can take a couple of team fights, they're going to be on the same talent tier, and that's exactly what any kind of advantage they want to press. If not even advantage, if actually just being on the same level.
Yeah. But that will be a good time for them to try to force an engagement, and we do see them trying to clear up to go towards the boss. So they may try to force this boss here, but for now, Cast Aside are looking at turn-in. They've got enough coins, so if they can just get the turn-in, it will require... Oh no, they see that their opponents are a boss. They know that they need to go up there, and that's exactly what they're going to do.
Yeah, with this huge amount of vision coming in here from the Bruiser camp, they now know that they have to come up here and fight this, or at least posture around it. But this is going to be a really difficult thing for for Cast Aside to go into. They're going to be going on into a Kael'thas. The boss so close to going down. If they could actually whittle away this boss, they could have the boss on their side. That's going to be a huge question of whether or not they can actually get this. SK Gaming taking a lot of damage. We already have the Anubarak has gone down. Kiefer's trying to go for the boss. He's getting healed back up. Is he going to be able to survive this is the question. He's taking too much damage. He goes down, and this is going to be a hand over to Cast Aside. Ukoza staying alive. Rave TGN now stuck in the middle of Cast Aside, and oh wow, it looks like the Zeratul is going to go down here, and they're going to actually be able to turn this around. It's going to be a 3 for 2. SK Gaming, such good play. Snitch doing so much damage. Take a look at the damage chart. Oh my god, Snitch is up to 29,000 hero damage. And I think just not too long ago, he was only at like 15,000. That's the power of Kael'thas.
That level 16 just is crazy. Look how many coins Nomi has, 18 on Nomi. They want to turn in here, but remember, they lost 3 people there. And SK almost lost Bakery, but Rave had a really quick, amazing blink heal that helped Bakery take down the water elemental that was chasing him just in the nick of time. But Bakery's out of mana, so they're having a little bit of an issue trying to stop this. Now Zarmany's going to come in. That will help push back Nomi, and Nomi has got to be so frustrated. That's still 18 coins that he has to just sit with as he has to jump into the line every time of SK Gaming for a team fight.
And SK Gaming is doing a really, really good job of just continuing that sustained game. Exactly what they were doing, they were trying to go for in this composition. They could just sit there and just hold off that turn-in all day long. The only question is, are they going to get level 20 in time?
That is a big question. They need to start getting into lanes, but their lanes are pretty pushed. It's going to mean that they're going to have to be out of position a little bit. We do see Brightwing splitting off maybe a little bit while SK goes for the turn-in once again. What are their opponents doing? Cast Aside looking like they maybe are going to start trying to go for catching somebody out. And Brightwing is going to go in, does bribe one of the Giants, but doesn't have another stack for the bribe. And this means that 2 of them are going to be separated out.
Yeah, I don't know if they can really do that much here, especially because they know that there's going to be Cast Aside trying to go for a turn in here. The Living Bomb, though, wow, that's a really big... No wonder they picked up Flamethrower. That's so nice. Look at that free harass. But oh no, Snitch getting caught out. He tried to lag out as long as possible, but the Shadow Assault was able to eliminate him pretty quickly. But they're turning this around. Coco Brown taking a lot of damage. Is he going to be able to go down here is the question. Kiefer's taking too much damage. He goes down. There's the Ice Block on SK for Rave. But is he going to survive this is the question. 3 members already down. 4 members down here for SK Gaming. Can Cast Aside win the game here? They've got all 4 members of their team up.
I think we're going to see them go back to turn-in. They know they're pretty low. They didn't really use any of their heroics. None of the heroics were used there. That's pretty crazy. Oh, no, we did see Judgment. That's strange. It's showing that the cooldown timers are not there. But really good usage of... a lot of times you'll see teams overuse their heroics to pick up stuff, and then they don't have them for the next fight. So really great play from both teams here. They're going to pick up both chests, most likely. They've got the bottom one for now. They've got a turn-in as well that will take out this keep, and that's going to mean catapults pushing in mid, and that's something they really, really like, being the first team to have the catapults going.
And not only catapults, Can I get a loan out from the National Bank of Casticide? 35 coins! 35 coins! They've got turnings for days! Wow, okay, so they're going to be sitting in a really nice spot, just having so many coins, and that's the advantage they want to press. They want to take these games, take these fights really slow, pick up all these mercenary camps, let these mercenary camps push, and then that forces SK Gaming to have to go defend all of those mercenary camps, right? As soon as they go to defend, free turn-in. As soon as they go to defend again, free turn-in. As soon as they go to defend, another boss. It's how they're going to play the rest of this game. That's how you play Blackhearts. It's up to SK to decide, make a really split-second decision on how they want to treat this next couple of fights. Because right now, they're sitting in a really rough spot.
SK looked like they were maybe wanting to go for a gank, but might instead wait for a gank here at the Giants. But meanwhile, Casticide kind of knowing that this is going to happen, and they're just doing the same. This is a really strange fake out, but there, SK are going to grab these Giants, and that's at least going to help a little bit in making something push in favor for them so the whole map isn't blue.
Speaking of that, we have level 20 from both these sides. We've got double bolts coming out from both sides. We're rewind on the Brightwing, as well as Nexus Blades coming out here on the Zeratul. Ooh, Zeratul.
This Zeratul build.
Yeah, this Zeratul build. This is going to eliminate somebody really quickly, especially with the Divine Shield. Bakery or Snitch is going to be the first one to go down. As long as they can keep one of those alive, they can potentially win the team fight. Or as long as one of them is able to get all the damage they need to get done really quickly, then they can potentially turn this around into a fight. Because Zeratul spends all of his cooldowns basically trying to kill somebody, and that's about it. That's what Zeratul does in this situation. But there's another turn in here for Casticide. There's going to be another keep down. That's going to be the last keep down.
Yeah, SK showed that they went after a minion wave, and that meant that Casticide knew right away to go turn in. Muradin was the only one who had to turn in, and they were able to stave off even Kael'thas. It looks like SK is going to be able to pick up this boss, but is it enough?
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I mean, they could potentially come back and defend really, really, well, but I don't think that's going to be able to do that much. In fact, Casticide playing very safe. They know they're going to get that keep. They know they've got all keeps down. They're going to go back, and it looks like they're just going to go for another turn-in. Because the turn-in wins the game. That's their victory condition. They need to win the game. A turn-in gets that, and that's exactly what they're going to do.
SK knows this and are on their way, and that means, well, Casticide sees that and immediately disengages, not feeling confident with the fight around there, so they're going to go back and defend that boss who was just wailing on their turrets.
Yeah, that's going to be, I guess, the safest decision right now. Make sure that that Grave Golem doesn't do enough damage, doesn't put SK back into the game. Because if they let that Grave Golem even take a keep, if they wipe later on trying to take out that core, or trying to take the turn-in, guess what? That keep going down means that that's going to be an instant victory there for SK. SK also walks in from the bot lane, is able to pick up that keep. This is becoming a fight.
Yeah, some great decisions here for SK. Forcing them to go back and defend so they didn't lose a keep, but taking out another keep, knowing that their opponents would be on the top side of their base. And now, once again, we have chest spawning. The bot chest right away is going to go to SK Gaming. Will Casticide fight at that top chest?
This is going to be a question, though, because I believe SK now has enough to turn in. Their Brightwing has their last 2 coins? No, they don't even need Brightwing. I can math. So they're going to get a turn in. That's going to be another keep. That's going to be a keep for them. It's now starting to even out here.
Yeah, wow. Their decision-making is really keeping them in this game, which is amazing, considering the fact that this can be one of the snowballier maps. And the Casticide know that they're going to need to get into an engagement sooner or later because the next turn-in is going to win it. They're at the turn-in, and here we go.
Yeah, Nobi taking a little bit of damage already, and he looks like he's going to go down immediately. Here comes Zeratul with the Divine Shield, but is he going to be able to survive everything? That's going to be the question. Keepers with the beautiful judgment turns this game around. Casticide losing so many members already, but Keepers has already failed. He's already gone down. Bakery is trying to keep everybody alive and do all the damage he possibly can. Glucosa is the last standing member of Casticide. SK Gaming turns it around.
So many coins, and they're actually just leaving some at turn-in. No, why would you leave the coins? But they don't care. They don't need to get them because they're going to go straight for core.
Oh my god! SK Gaming with the miraculous engage at the last second. The judgment to deny Zeratul the ability to actually take out Snitch was so good. Bakery did so much damage, was able to lag up Glucosa enough, and that's gonna turn the entire game on its head. We thought that was it. That was it. Casticide had it, but SK Gaming, decision-making masters. Oh my god.
Yeah, some crazy decisions, great team fights under a lot of pressure, an insane amount of pressure, able to take that very decisive team fight, the one that mattered most. They knew it came down to that. They took it, and then instead of even waiting for a turn, and they knew they had the long enough cooldown timers that they could go straight for core and did so. Wow, so just some awesome play from both teams there.
That was absolutely amazing. SK Gaming with that just ridiculous decision making. So guys,